A major shift in American citizenship just hit the Supreme Court. Here's what almost nobody understands about it, and how it could affect families born in the U.S. America's basic rule has been simple. For 150 years, born here, you're a citizen. This new executive order is testing that rule, and the Supreme Court is about to weigh in. On January 20th, 2025, Executive Order 14160 narrowed who the federal government recognizes as a U.S. citizen at birth in two situations. It set that change to apply 30 days after the order. A series of lawsuits stopped it from taking effect nationwide, so the Supreme Court will hear the case on April 1st, 2026. What changed? An executive order narrowed recognized citizenship at birth in two parent status scenarios. What's being decided? Whether that move fits the 14th Amendment and federal national law? Why it matters? This could impact millions of lives. America's basic rule has been simple for 150 years. The 14th Amendment says people born in the United States and subject to U.S. jurisdiction are citizens. For generations, courts and scholars have read that to include almost everyone born here, with the narrow exceptions like children of foreign diplomats. The order tells federal agencies not to recognize citizenship at birth in two cases. A. When the mother was unlawfully present and the father was neither a citizen nor a lawful permanent resident, and B. When the mother was here lawfully but only temporarily, and the father was neither a citizen nor a lawful permanent resident. The January 2025 order says the new law is prospective, meaning it will be in effect 30 days after it is signed. Multiple lawsuits across the U.S. blocked that order from taking effect. In a separate case about nationwide injunctions, the Supreme Court limited universal blocks, but did not decide the citizenship question, so litigation continued. The Birthright case, Trump versus Barbara, is now set for April 1st, 2026. This is not abstract. Birthright citizenship is more than a legal phrase. Birthright status affects passports, social security numbers, work eligibility, and all the paperwork of life. Changing the baseline, even prospectively, creates uncertainty for families and agencies. To understand this turning point in American identity, let's recall one of our most restrictive immigration laws, the Chinese Exclusion Act. After the Civil War, the 14th Amendment established birthright citizenship. In 1898, the Supreme Court's Wong Kim Ark decision confirmed that a child born in San Francisco to Chinese immigrant parents was a U.S. citizen regardless of the parent's immigration status. In today's world, Executive Order 14160 challenges that long-standing interpretation by attempting to narrow which births actually count. There are three likely paths. They could strike down the order, reaffirming the broad birthright rule under the 14th Amendment and 8 U.S.C. 1401. They could uphold it, accepting a narrowed read of the subject to the jurisdiction. Or they could go with an even more narrowed ruling that leaves questions for another day. Here's what's important to know. It's not retroactive. The new order says the change applies only to babies born 30 days after it's signed into law. An executive order cannot change the Constitution. The executive order wants agencies to use a narrower definition of what subject to the jurisdiction means. Parents do not have to be a citizen, as we discussed earlier. The Supreme Court already established that if you were born here, you were a citizen. The new order does not state that a parent's past status can affect citizenship. It states their status at the time of birth. If implemented, will define the child's status. Right now, this law has not taken effect, but this is what we will be watching for when the court hears the Trump versus Barber case in April of 2026. Oral arguments are set for April 1st, 2026. Most major decisions arrive by the end of the term, which is usually June or July. Watch for questions about the meaning of jurisdiction, the weight of Wong Kim Ark, and how the Nationality Act interacts with the Constitution. This moment isn't about partisanship, it's about clarity and the rules that define who we are as a country. I'll track the case and explain what the court decides in plain English. If this helped, hit the like so more people can see this. Comment with your questions, I read all of them. And subscribe with notifications so you don't miss the Supreme Court ruling and our quick breakdown of what it means for families. Thanks for watching.